We've been talking a lot about authenticity during this course, but just because it's so important. And that's why the first attractiveness booster is also authenticity. Do you want to know when I realized how important authenticity is? It was still back in university. A female friend of mine came to me and she told me a story about a date that she had. And the guy she had the date with, I also knew. Was a pretty laid back, cool guy, leather jacket, also a student like us. And yeah, he invited her out for a date. Although we know he didn't have a lot of money, we were all students, he invited her into the fanciest hotel bar in town. And that was already a little bit weird to my female friend back then because, hey, he had no money and he probably has never gone there before. So he went there and then he also ordered the fanciest cocktail for him. And my friend started to feel stupid because she only ordered a Coke. And yeah, the whole story went on and it went weirder and weirder, as my female friend told me. They changed locations so often she couldn't even really, get to rest and feel comfortable. He started to tell stories about this and that, and stories that she had never heard before and that he didn't even tell ever before. The result was that that night they parted, and I think they've never met again. See, this guy, when she was telling me that, was doing everything right according to seduction techniques, according to the seduction advice that's out there. He wanted to demonstrate higher value by going to a fancy hotel bar and ordering a fancy drink. And he also wanted to build up trust by changing the location pretty often, because it has that subtle effect. If you change location very often with a person, you start to trust each other more, or get the feeling that you know each other for a much longer time than you have actually spent together. So this guy did everything right, but he missed one crucial point, and that was authenticity. He wasn't authentic. Normally, he wouldn't probably go to that fancy hotel bar. He couldn't even afford it. And you don't even need to go on a date to a fancy hotel bar. Just go there wherever you want to, where you feel comfortable. And thus, because he was lacking authenticity, my female friend couldn't explain, but she started to feel suddenly so weird with this guy that no real attractiveness, no real attraction could be built up. And then I realized authenticity is important. Maybe before all the other nice techniques that are out there and that also work, at first comes authenticity. And that's mainly for three reasons. Three good reasons to stay authentic all the time. Number one is authenticity is sustainable. When I say sustainable, it's like, hey, if you build up a house of cards, a face of lies, you have to keep it up. And ultimately, this house of cards will fall. Because, as we know, women are authenticity checkers. And she will find out if you're just pretending or if that's the real you. So don't even try. A second reason why authenticity is important. Authenticity is strength. See, if you go to a person and you open up yourself, you show your real you make yourself vulnerable. The other person can approve you or not, or criticize you. You get vulnerable. But making yourself vulnerable is also a sign of strength. Only strong people can afford to make themselves vulnerable. You don't need to hide behind lies. You don't need to hide yourself behind even material wealth. Being the real you alone gives you already the respect of the women in front of you. She might not approve you, she might not like what she sees, but at least she will respect you, and that's the basis for attractiveness. And the third reason why authenticity is key, and here come all the other two reasons into it, is authenticity is easy and it makes you even stronger. It is easy because you don't waste your energy on keeping up a house of cards, on keeping up lies about yourself or trying to be somebody else. It doesn't cost you as much energy to just be you. Actually, it doesn't cost you energy at all to just be yourself. That's why it's easy to stay authentic. And it makes you even stronger because although there will be many people that might not like what they see, but on the other hand, there are as many people, if not even more, that will like you for who you are, that will approve you, and that will feel really great. Plus, if you stay authentic, it also means that you live up to your highest values and you don't betray yourself anymore, which costs you a lot of self-confidence. If you live up to your highest value, your self-confidence can build up and thus you grow stronger and stronger. So, forget everything that you've heard about how to please people just to please them. Only do the things from now on that really fit to you, that you really want to do. For example, I love to smile. But if I wouldn't love it, I wouldn't smile that often as I'm doing now. That's being authentic. And in order to start this authenticity process, I have the first exercise for you. Write down 1 to 5 things, even more if you want to, of your behaviors that you have just adopted in order to please people. And this is a behavior that you want to give up. Behind it, you will write a behavior that you want to have instead. Let me give you an example. For me, something that I didn't want to do anymore was dressing up in costumes for costume parties. There was a girl that I was kind of into, but she always threw these costume parties and told, hey, you have to dress like that or you have to dress like that. Damn it, I was a student back then. I didn't have the money for it. Why can't we just put the money into beer, drink the beer, have fun, listen to cool music? I did that just for her, just to please her. But it wasn't the real me. I said I would give that up. Instead, I wanted to adopt a behavior that was more like me. And that was namely spending more time with the people that go on the same parties like me.